So hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend our webinar. We're Sovanta, and we're going to be hosting the Beyond AI POC, how use cases finally go live. We're going to keep the chat open for questions. So as we go through, please feel free to ask questions, and we can hopefully answer them by the end of the webinar. And I'll go ahead and hand it off to Larissa and Christian that will be presenting.
Thanks, Christian. I hope everybody can see my screen. Also, welcome from my side. Before we dive into the topic, let me quickly introduce myself, and then Larissa, you can introduce yourself. So my name is Christian Heinrich. I'm the Chief Solutions Officer for Sovanta. So mainly responsible for product development, portfolio management, and that kind of stuff. And here for presenting the factory approach today, and handing over to Larissa.
Yes, thank you. I'm Larissa. I'm a senior data scientist and AI squad lead at Sovanta, and I'm working and overseeing a lot of AI projects together with our customers. And I'm here today to talk about some use cases and some customer stories we built with our AI approach. So looking forward to our session today.
All right, thanks, Larissa. So maybe just some words on Sovanta. Who is Sovanta? Before we dive actually into the topic, so we are an SAP partner, completely focusing on the topic of cloud, of SAP Business Technology Platform, of course SAP AI, like we're talking about today. In the market since 16 years now, really complete focus on that cloud topic. Originally coming from that area of user experience, but now really in the BTP and the HCP and all platforms beforehand since over 10 years now. So, but diving into the topic, let's really start looking into why we have a certain situation here, and why AI is actually not as successful as it potentially could be. And I guess you all know those numbers. You all know those studies. Just to name a few, 50% or more than 50% of GenAI projects are abandoned after proof of concept, says a Gartner report. We have another report saying 42% of companies reported abandoning most AI initiatives. BCG said that 20% of companies move beyond POC, so only 26. We have another study saying that over 80% of AI projects actually fail. 98% of executives reported no significant impact over 3 years, says a McKinsey study. And another study, the last one we quoted here, is one from IBM that says 25% of CEOs reporting AI delivering the expected ROI, so only 25%. So we see that, well, it seems that there's something not going perfectly right at that situation, and that a lot of organizations are actually able to demo AI, but really fail to productionize it. We see that also companies seem to struggle to actually do the change management part, the actual data integration part, the governance part, and so on and so forth. We see that a lot of companies kind of stop or are really good at experimenting or still at this stage, but not figuring out how to get the return on investment out of it. And we see that this all kind of leads into what we call the AI paradox. So basically, we're a really strong believer in the assumption that really every or nearly every process can be enhanced already today by integrating AI. So if we see which models are available, how well this is all integrated, also especially in the SAP ecosystem, if we look what's available on BTP and how we can integrate it into also existing SAP landscape, I really believe, okay, we can improve and we can gain efficiency really within every process. And at the same time, and this is what you saw, we have those numbers really reflecting that it's not paying off, that it's not actually going live, that if it's going live, that companies don't really see the benefit, and that they cannot calculate. And it seems like, and the numbers prove it, that a lot of stuff actually then stops at this POC level. And we asked ourselves the question, Why is that? What could be potential reasons for that? And we came up with a list of eight topics. So why do AI initiatives actually stall? Why are they not successful? And we see, like I said, eight reasons. And the first one, what we identified is actually the wrong focus. So of course I said, yeah, every process can be improved by integrating AI. Nevertheless, there's a lot of processes that are easier to integrate or that are, have a better probability to be successful. So we saw oftentimes with our customers that we could make our lives a lot easier when we identify kind of the low-hanging fruits at the beginning and really start with them, gaining some knowledge, getting some experience with the customer, and then also taking over the other one. So it's really the wrong focus, starting with the wrong stuff. We also see an unclear scope or also an old methodology maybe. So old ways of thinking that are actually not yet really optimized for AI initiatives. We see that with requirements gathering. We see that with the whole scoping topic, the identification. We tend to try to use an old methodology to actually scope and identify the right topics that are not yet really fitting for AI topics. That just work a little different. We see unclear ownership oftentimes. So I don't know how many of you have many Excel files with great AI initiatives. So we see AI initiatives happening all over the place in all different business units and all different areas within organizations. But it's really unclear who really has the ownership. Do we have a standardized, a central governance? Do we really know which topics to do, where to focus on? And this is one thing where I said, okay, sometimes maybe it's better to focus on a few that can actually go live, gain the experience, and then continue with those. We see a level of uncertainty. What do we mean with uncertainty, especially when it comes to the technology choice, or when it comes to the question, is it a standard topic or a custom topic? And well, SAP plays a role here as well, because of course they say there's a lot of business AI available, and there's a lot of business AI coming. So the standard business AI coming every day. But the question is always, okay, how fast can I get it with my version of S4, or is this something I should actually start also building in a custom way, which oftentimes is perfectly possible. Number 5 is something we call the hype-driven AI. So we saw that oftentimes that customers actually want to build a solution in a certain technology. To be honest, in the last months, it has been most of the time agents. So we want to build an agent, no matter if the agent actually makes sense or not. And this often leads to a situation where, okay, you choose maybe the second best technology option for the use case. And this is something we always want to bring in, saying, okay, it does not have to be the latest and shiniest technology if the solution actually works out with some standard automation as an example. So this is something that actually hinders oftentimes also successful delivery. We see a topic in technology selection overall. So of course, similar to what we said beforehand, and well, this is more the other way around. First, it was, okay, we decide because this is the cool stuff, we want to do it. The second one is, okay, we have to select our technology based on the skills we have. And that's, again, oftentimes not the most or the best fitting one. And we see in the meantime that there's already a lot of different possibilities to actually make use of, and well, finding the right one that actually supports the use case the best is something that really is important and really supports right from the beginning the success of the scenario, then also later on. Number 7 is, of course, still a lack of efficiency. It's a new topic. We all have to learn the new technology stacks, the new models, also the new way of extending SAP with AI features. And of course, we haven't done it that often and that many times, so we still have to learn. We still have to get more efficient here. And number 8, it's all about AI speed, and really the speed within this whole AI movement. So similar to the question on the top where we talked about uncertainties, again, when's the right time? So do I have to wait until the next Claude model comes out, or what's ChatGPT going to do, and is everything then magically happening at once? And so we also see that tendency oftentimes to kind of what we said, it's kind of an analysis paralysis. So you analyze and analyze and analyze, and then it's really the question, okay, when can we actually start executing and start doing stuff? So if we really sum it up, it's well, the existing ways of working not yet fit to the AI world. We have skill gaps. We have to find the right technology decisions, and we have to make sure that we actually start and we are not overanalyzing stuff. And we see that there's a lot of topics that we need to tackle. And while we are honest, we've seen this situation kind of before. So also in the beginning, when the SAP Business Technology Platform came around, also the idea of extending side by side, using the BTP for innovations on top of the existing SAP landscape. We had a similar situation that companies actually struggled to bring things live, struggled to be really efficient. And at that point in time, we said, okay, we need to write the things down. We need to build something that helps us scale, that shows the best practices, that makes the best practices available, and that helps us actually to scale together with the customer and to decide for the right technologies. And what we did basically is we wrote it down. 3 years ago, we started to really actually write everything down, all the best practices, all the stuff we have as experience from the past. We then build a platform around it, which is the innovation factory that actually really enables us to support this innovation life cycle end to end, from the first idea over the design phase, the engineering phase, going into production and the actual shipment. That's also why we chose this factory theme, because it really should drive those innovations, and now with AI, drive those AI like if it was a factory kind of delivery. And then finally, we also build a lot of AI now already also in the Joule to make sure that the delivery in the factory itself is actually pretty smooth and fast. And well, why do I tell you that? Because this is the foundation also to the stuff we now do in what we call the AI factory. So it's the underlying technology with all the features we have and with all the best practices we have. So if we look back into the challenges we saw, we will see in a second that a lot of those challenges are actually tackled, because we have the best practices in there to actually decide for the right technology. We have the best practices and blueprints in there for actually then guiding teams through the process of actually bringing things live in a certain technology, and so on and so forth. But I would say before we go too much into detail, let's jump into the demo and let's show the AI factory. So that was a quick insight into the actual factory, and with that, I would like to hand over to Larissa to show how we used it for customers to successfully deliver AI solutions.
Yes. So first, I want to wrap up what we just saw in the video, and maybe you can jump to the next slide. So just to wrap up, we have seen now how the AI factory can support in the whole process of AI development. So starting at the demand management stage, we just saw how collecting use cases, prioritizing use cases, and iterating over the ideas can be facilitated with our AI factory. And when you have the best use case that you want to focus on first, you get a whole list of templates, of recommendations, of guidelines, how to start, what to do first, where to look for good materials and resources. So using those templates will just kickstart off every AI use case you can do on the BTP. Then if you brought your solution live and everything is up and running, you can use the AI Factory to monitor your solution. You can, for example, tag with different models that you're using. So when there is a new version out and you want to replace the old model versions, you can just filter and see, here I'm using this version to get a new model in. And also for strategy and governance, like the AI Factory helps with transparent view on all ongoing AI initiatives, at which point they are, like what technologies they are using, what models they are using, on which templates they are built upon, and also who is responsible for it. So because it's built to be transparent and to be and to show the responsible persons, you can always have a good overview about all your AI initiatives in your company. So with this picture in mind, I wanted to show you some examples or some customer stories, and I will take over sharing from Christian. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, perfect. So we want to show you that this is not only a video that you just saw, but it's also live and you can use it right away. So this is our AI Factory, and I want to show you at first 2 customer stories. Let us start with an invoice automation we've done with Frosta. So this is a success story we have here. We also have use cases. You will see them later. But I will start with the invoice automation. So for Frosta, if you don't know them, they are producing frozen foods and meals, and they had the challenge that they had a lot of ingoing invoices from their suppliers. So they had around about 30,000 invoices per year, and they were coming in per email or like with PDF attachments or with Excel attachments, and they had to transfer the data manually to their S4. And this took like a long time, was very error prone because it was just a manual process. And the data quality was at risk because you just had typos in it and copy and paste errors. And there was no interface like providing that needed automation that they wanted to have, because they wanted to free their people from those manual tasks and let them have more time for more meaningful work. So what did they do? They came to us. We started with a boot camp to enable them how to use BTP technologies with process automation, SAP built process automation, and SAP document AI. And together we worked on a fully automated AI-driven workflow that includes process automation for approval processes and document AI for extracting information from the PDFs. And as you can see here, we were able to reduce the time per invoice from 10 minutes to 1 minute or less, because we were able to like automate a bunch of invoices, like 70% of the invoices, they don't need to be touched at all before they get posted into S4. And right now they're very happy with their solution. And what the AI Factory now gives you, like you have this use case, what does it help you in your progress? So we can jump to here, because this invoice automation was built up on one of our templates. This is the template for document AI projects. And now this is the demo effect. So you can see here how such a template looks like. Like this template describes, has a problem statement where you can use this template for. It comes with a fully prepared project plan where you instantly know where to start, what to do next. You have detailed descriptions here where you can just dive into the deliverables, what you need to work on. You know instantly like the team that you need to set up and what kind of roles are needed in the project additionally, and what kind of services you need to entitle on your BTP in order to get this started. And we also have linked a lot of assets. For example, every service template comes with a ready-to-use target architecture, like those are examples or recommendations that can be altered then for the responding use cases here in question. So for example, here you can see our setup with here an integration suite talking to SAP and non-SAP systems and integrating document AI into the whole workflow. But that's not all. So in the video, we also saw that we have add-ons or parts that you can use if you use the AI Factory. You can import them, so to say, in your project and use them as a kickstart. For example, we have parts, as we saw, for invoice automation, like content-wise, to use our knowledge, our best practices for several types of use cases, sales order automation, auto confirmation. Like we have some content parts, but also software parts that you can just plug in your use case and you can use them right away. For example, here we have a very nice human in the loop UI. So for example, for document automation, sometimes you will have cases where the extraction of the PDF is not complete, or you need to correct manually the AI extracted information. So we built here a UI where you can just use this in several kinds of use cases, and you have all information here in one place to get your use case started. Okay, so this was the first customer or use case I wanted to talk about. The second one, let's skip back, is a case from Pillar. Pillar blowers and compressors. They are producing blowers and compressors for industry cases, for example, for chemical production, for food processing, and they have a wide variety of products and also of spare parts. Like when one of their products needs a spare part and their customers are asking them, hey, I need to replace this part, it is like a big effort for Pillar to gather all the information, for example, like what customer is it, in which plant is this part used, in which situation, like do we have special conditions that we need to consider in order to replace that part, which version of the machine are we talking about, which machine is it. So they have a lot of specifications that they need to take into account before they can send out a quotation for the customer then to buy the spare part. And Pillar wants to expand, like they want to respond faster to those kind of requests. They want to increase their efficiency, and this is why we built together with them an agent that is just doing this work. It gets like the request as an input, and it gathers automatically and on its own all information that they have in different systems. So the agent independently looks up the customer information, the machine specification, and gives recommendations for the right parts then to send out to their customer. And what's really cool, this agent is running live, and they reported a 60% faster quotation time. So this is really impressive. And it only took, like from the very beginning, from conception phase to production, like 6 months. So this is a really fast value for their business process. And here you can see all the technologies that we have used with them. And of course, they also used the AI Factory with one of our service templates. And the service template was our low-code agent. So in SAP, there is SAP Build, and SAP Build has this Joule Studio, which is a low-code, no-code tool to create agents very, very quickly. And we also have best practices because we did a lot of projects with it already. As I said, you will get a project plan with activities lined up. In every step in the project, you know exactly what to do next, where to set the next check mark, and yeah, what kind of people you will need in this project, what kind of services you will need. So everything is right there. So just waiting for you to start. And it also gives you like demo videos. Okay, you can get an impression how it will look like in the end, and also other ideas what to do next. So for example, if you have set up that kind of agent, why not continue with the next agent case? Because there is the technological foundation already. So you can just, continue with the next use case because everything is there. Why wait? So those were the two use cases I wanted to present. Of course, there's a lot more. We have like a lot of use cases. And for example, we also have a chatbot here that can help in different situations. And we have a lot of parts that are in our part catalog or in our service catalog. So it's really packed with a lot of stuff that you can use. And with that, I want to hand over back to Christian to continue with the rest of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Larissa, and thank you, Christian, for presenting on those topics. So I'll go ahead and bring up the slides on my end. One moment.
Yes.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So thank you, Larissa and Christian, for presenting on the AI Factory. And I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to sort of summarize, everything that they presented and, put it in some different terms. So the AI Factory is a smaller factory or sub-factory to our innovation factory. So this is an internal tool that we've developed over years of experience in deploying AI use cases, and it's something that we decided to bring to the customers, right? So we're bringing our best practices, all our use cases, in a manner that's, easily digestible for you and your team. So the main things that I would say that it's really going to do for, any SAP practices, it's going to help accelerate backlog refinement. If you go in there and you start going through the demand management, you're going to start identifying those use cases that you're not going to have to build from scratch. The project and the plans are going to be there already available to you. So you're not going to have to, take those, sort of bumps and bruises along the way of learning. You can leverage what we've done in the past. The other thing is that this is actually a portal for enablement and also our services. So through this AI Factory, you can also go to such an extent of getting enablement around the best practices, as you can see there in our COE starter, which touches down on Center of Excellence. So we can share all of the best practices and the best ways of governing your SAP practice in order to get the most out of the technology that you're deploying in fast and reasonable time. Also, within our Expert as a Service, some of you may know that as staff augmentation. So if you're finding yourself with, capacity issues, critical skills gaps, we have those experts that can jump in and help move those use cases that you're deploying or that you feel comfortable enough to be deploying on your own. And then also we, host numerous workshops through the demand management. That's something you guys can facilitate as well by leveraging our tool. But it's something that if you want us to step in and to assist with, it's something that we can do as well. So those are some of the key things that I'd probably touch on within AI Factory. So once again, it's going to accelerate your practice. You're going to get access to all of our best use cases and the templates and the majority of the work that we've already done from our years of experience, and it also opens up, our availability to you in order to help us move those things along if you find yourself in the need of that. So outside of that, there's essentially two ways that we can engage with you going forward if this is something that was of interest to you. The traditional way would be on the left, which we call Project Pass, or it's ultimately the traditional project delivery, whether it's in a waterfall type or agile type fashion. We can come in, go from scoping and discovery all the way to actually delivering the project or the AI use case in your live systems. So we can go all the way to extent of doing that in a traditional manner. We do have a newer approach, which is within the Innovation Factory, where there's a monthly subscription, and it's based on credit usage. So within that credit usage, it gives you access to all of those things that I touched previously, also within all the use cases that would be there from our best practices that you could leverage on your own. So a little bit more in regards to how that credits work. At this time, we're actually offering a pilot month risk-free. Within that first month, you get 100 credits. That is the equivalent of $10,000 worth of services. So we'll be able to come in, we'll prove the value of it to you in the organization, help onboard the team and to learn the tool, and also what also falls within there that you could take advantage of. And then you'd be in a position that you can cancel it anytime within the first 30 days. So if you get in there and you feel it's not, hitting the mark for you guys for any particular reason, we'd love to have a conversation, learn as to what we're missing so we could refine on that and make it better. But we're, pretty confident that it'll help drive that value for the organization, help you get real traction with your AI use cases and start bringing them to value. Also, just in the middle there's just a breakdown of some of the discounting structures. So the great thing about this is it's scaling. So in regards to the more you purchase, the more credits you're going to get out of it. So you'll be getting discounts there as you purchase more. And also, say if you went with a lower tier and later bought up in it, it's retroactive. So we will adjust it, and based on you hit that aggregate, we'll give you those discounts as well. So which is an amazing thing. So it's just going to give you more value for your services in the long run. And a lot of other partners aren't doing this as of now. So I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Also, once I touched on this briefly, so the AI Factory is a sub-factory of the Innovation Factory. We also do cover in terms of the Clean Core Factory, extensions, and integration. So we just don't have this within AI use cases. It actually does cover Clean Core, extensions, and integrations. So it's essentially covering everything that B2P would be touching. Ultimately, you're not just getting the AI, you're also getting access to all these other factories. And the great thing about this, with the first month free on us, you're not just getting, getting the access and that, 100 credits for the AI Factory. You could use them in any different one of the factories. And here are some of the services that are highlighted that you'd be able to take advantage of within that $10,000 or 100 credits that you'd be covered within the first month free. And then also, if you had any desire to go ahead and buying up and getting more credits within that month, you can, and then leverage it for one of the other services. So just a couple of the ones that jump out immediately is any of the, the experts of the service, or what may be more familiar to you is StaffHog, where they can step in and, help offload some of that capacity and fill those skill gaps that may be existing, or some of those discovery, demand clarification, or road mapping sessions that we could be able to do there as well. Also, that pretty much sums up the presentation on the AI Factory, but we just wanted to go ahead and share some of the upcoming events that we're going to be at. So if you're available or there, we'd love to bump into you and say hi. So we're going to be at the ASUG chapter meeting in upstate New York here March 4th in Buffalo, New York. We should be at also the Philadelphia chapter meeting as well, coming up on March 12th. And then ideally, we're planning on being at the SAP Connect Days, so we should be there as well at Newtown Square at headquarters, March 24th and 25th. And then if you are local to Detroit, this should be of interest to you. We are partnering with SAP and hosting B2P, B2C, and AI workshops. That is taking place on March 25th and the 26th. So you can go ahead and follow up with myself, send me an email, or you could scan the QR code in the top right corner there, which would be the link to schedule an appointment with me, and I can make sure you get it, or you can reach out via email, whichever is most convenient for you. And we'll make sure that you get, get all the information that you need. All right. So also for anyone that is on LinkedIn, please feel free to reach out and connect. We're always posting more information like this on LinkedIn. So if you always want to stay up with the latest and greatest on AI and B2P, you'll definitely find it there. And also any of our upcoming events or webinars and or workshops that we'll be hosting, you'll be able to get access to it there as well. So please feel free to go ahead and reach out to us on LinkedIn. We're always happy to connect. And we'll go ahead and open up for any Q&A here. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat. Okay. All right. Well, looks like we do not have any questions at this time. So thank you for joining, and we'll make sure that everyone that's attended will get the slides and the recording out to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.